The best way to earn points and miles and to help you subsidize travel, make it cheaper, or experience things you otherwise would not have been able to experience is, of course, by signing up for new credit cards and earning those welcome offers. And if you've been eyeballing a new credit card or really wanting to earn some more points and miles to help subsidize that travel, well, now is the time to do that because there are a ton of elevated welcome offers on plenty of different cards, all the way ranging from transferable currencies to hotel cards, airline cards, or even cash back if that's what you prefer. There are a ton of options, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing some of the best welcome offers that I think you should apply for. At least get one of these cards, maybe a few if you can handle that, because these offers are phenomenal and a great way to start earning some points and miles. Of course, I will have all these links down below in the description, and some of these links will be referrals of mine actually, so I would greatly appreciate it if you did use those links. It really helps support me as well as my travel lifestyle with my wife, and just help provide better content for you guys. Of course, if you do, make sure that those offers are the elevated offers and that they are the best offer for you. But let's go ahead and dive into the first card I want to mention, which is a very common card that you're probably going to hear a lot in the next 2 months, and that is the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Now, this card typically has a welcome offer of 60,000 points, but right now it is elevated to 100,000 Chase UR points after you spend 5,000 in the first 3 months. Now, at the time of recording this video, it's actually only available in branch, so if you go in person to a Chase bank, then you can get that 100K offered. But the rumors have it that this offer will be available online starting April 3rd. So if you're watching before April 3rd, just go ahead and wait until that date and you can apply online. If you're watching after, then you should be set. I believe this offer is tied for the highest elevated offer we've ever seen on the Sapphire Preferred, so it's definitely a fantastic time to apply. Cannot stress that enough. Even if you don't really like the card, I mean, just signing up for the first year, paying $95 for the annual fee, and then just getting that 100K in that sign-up bonus, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. At a cashback rate, that's $1,000, but of course you can use it in the portal for an elevated boost, or you can transfer that to some partners and get even more value there. The main purpose of this card is really just to transfer points out to partners. Of course, the high elevated offer is another reason to get it. It does come with a $50 hotel credit, but otherwise it has some okay multipliers and nothing too crazy. However, because you can transfer points out to some partners, it does pair well with some of the Chase Freedom cards, and that gets me into card number 2, which is on the opposite side of the spectrum, and that is a $0 annual fee card with a very easy to hit sign-up bonus, that being the Chase Freedom Unlimited card. Right now, the elevated offer is $250 cash back after you spend just $500 on the card in the first 3 months. I mean, anyone can hit that bonus. It's super easy. And like I said, it does pair well with the Sapphire cards because you can turn that $250 cash back into Chase UR points, which then allows you to transfer to some transfer partners. Of course, if you want cash back, you can do that, or you can use it in the portal for a 1.25 cent boost with the Sapphire Preferred, or transfer it to some partners. Plenty of options here. It's a $0 annual fee card. You earn 1.5x on everything. I mean, it's really not a bad card. Now, keep in mind with these Chase cards, you do have to be under Chase 524. So basically, if you've applied for 4 or less cards in the last 24 months, personal cards that is, then you are good to go. If you've applied for 5 or more, or approved for 5 or more, I should say, then you will unfortunately be automatically denied. So with all these Chase cards, definitely keep that in mind. But we're not done with Chase yet. That's just the first 2. Moving on from the Chase UR cards, we also have some co-branded cards, and United just recently revamped their credit cards. That also means they're coming with some elevated sign-up bonuses. So every single card in the United family has been revamped, and unfortunately the annual fees have been increased, but it does mean that the offers have been increased as well. And the ones I want to highlight here would be the United Explorer as well as the United Business card. So starting with the personal United Explorer card, it does come with a $150 annual fee, but it is waived in the first year, so $0 up front. And with that $0 annual fee card for the first 12 months, you will receive 80,000 miles with United after spending $3,000 in the first 3 months. I believe that's the highest offer we've seen for this United Explorer card. For the first year, you pay $0. You get a few benefits, such as free checked bags. There are some new benefits, such as like a $50 hotel credit. So, I mean, there are ways to offset the annual fee even after the first year, and just some ways to get some value from the card aside from the sign-up bonus. But regardless of all that, 80,000 points up to 3K in spend, pretty good deal. Another option is the regular United Business card, and this one does have the $150 annual fee that is not waived for the first year, so you will have to pay it, unfortunately. However, the sign-up bonus for this card is higher, 125,000 United miles after you spend $5,000 on the card in the first 3 months. So you do have to spend a bit more, upfront for the annual fee as well as for the spend requirement, but you also get 125,000 miles with United. That is ridiculous. This card is very similar to the Explorer card, so you will have some of those same benefits to help offset the annual fee, even in that first year. Mainly, you want to focus on that for the second year. Of course, that first year does come with that crazy sign-up bonus, so you are set there. You can even apply for both of these cards to get well over 200,000 miles. You can apply for the Sapphire Preferred as well as the United card, because the Sapphire Preferred, or Chase I should say, does transfer to United. So all those points you earn with Chase, you can transfer to United and have, again, well over 200,000 miles. Possibilities are endless here. As a side note, I will highlight the United Quest card. It's a bit more expensive, $350 annual fee, so you do have to fork that up. The credits, I personally believe, are a bit easier to use. I'll pop them up on screen here. But this card does come with a 90,000 point welcome offer plus 500 PQPs, so just a little bonus on top. Finally, moving on to the last Chase card I want to talk about, which is a business card, and that is the IHG Business Premier credit card. Now, I personally have this card and I love it. It's a $99 annual fee, but it does come with an IHG free night certificate worth up to 40,000 points. And that easily covers $200 for a hotel stay, so you're doubling the value of what you're paying for the credit card. Plus, it comes with platinum status, some United benefits, TSA PreCheck, global entry. The card is amazing. I absolutely love it. And right now, it has an elevated offer of 200,000 IHG points after you put $9,000 in spend on the card after 6 months. So the spend is a bit up there, I'm not going to lie. If you do have a lot of spend coming up, then this works out for you. Otherwise, you may want to look elsewhere. It is tiered as well, so you will earn 140,000 points after 4,000 in spend in 3 months, and then you'll earn the remaining 60,000 points after a total of 9,000 in spend after 6 months. So kind of a little bit confusing there. You got some tiers that you have to deal with. But overall, 200,000 points, really can't go wrong with that, especially on such a phenomenal card that is easily a keeper card. All right, so enough of Chase. Let's go ahead and move on to American Express and some of their cards. And with their charge cards, the famous, gold, platinum card, you can always find some elevated offers with those cards if you do a bit of digging. So nothing really to note there. There is kind of a special one with the platinum, which I'll get into at the end of the video because there is a caveat with that, so stay tuned for that one. But moving on to their co-branded cards, this is where it gets spicy. The first family of co-branded cards that I do want to talk about is the Hilton Honors family. Now, the reason I want to talk about these cards is that the $0 annual fee Hilton Honors, as well as the $150 annual fee Hilton Surpass, do come with a free night certificate with the welcome offer, plus points on top of that. So the $0 annual fee Hilton Honors card comes with 70,000 points and a free night certificate. And those free nights can be used on pretty much any property within Hilton on a standard room. And so that can range from a $100 hotel to a $1,000 hotel or even higher. So there is some serious outsized value you can get with these welcome offers. I cannot stress that enough. With the Surpass, you'll get 130,000 points plus a free night cert. If you applied for both of these cards, that's easily over 200,000 points and 2 free night certs. Insane value. I highly recommend getting these cards if you are into Hilton. I will say you should probably start with the Hilton Honors, the $0 annual fee card, because Amex does have some family language within some of their cards. Hilton is excluded, but I do see them changing that in the future. We really just don't know, so it's not worth taking the risk in my personal opinion. Plus, that welcome offer on the $0 annual fee card is phenomenal anyways. 70,000 points in the free night. Can't go wrong with that. The $0 card does require $2,000 in spend in 6 months, which is pretty easy to be honest. And then the Surpass requires $3,000. Again, pretty easy. The Aspire does also have an elevated offer, but it's just a points offer of 175,000 points, which is still pretty good. But the welcome offer does not come with a free night, and that's because the Aspire already comes with a free night. So once you apply for the card, you will just get a free night regardless of the welcome offer. So technically it comes with a free night, but it's not the welcome offer necessarily, it's just the card. If you apply for all 3 of them, you're getting 3 free nights and you're getting over 400,000 Hilton Honors points. Can't go wrong with that. I've actually previously made a video on the Hilton credit cards and the insane welcome offers that come with them, as this is pretty much an annual tradition once per year, so now's the time to do it if you haven't done it already. And there's a bit of a strategy that I mentioned in that video on the best way to apply and pretty much finish the welcome offers at the best time. That way you can maximize the value with the points and the free nights. So check that video out if you haven't already. Now, moving on from Hilton, the other hotel chain with American Express being Marriott Bonvoy, they also have elevated offers. So you have the Bevy with 155,000 points. Higher spend requirement though, it does require $5,000 in spend. And then the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant does require $6,000 to spend, but comes with 185,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. Now these do have family language, so if you apply for the Brilliant and you're approved, then you cannot get the Bevy welcome offer at a later date. So if you are planning to get both, start with the Bevy, move on to the Brilliant. That's personally what I did. But I will say that the Bevy is not a good card, so be aware of that. And so if you aren't looking for that card, just want the Brilliant, now is still a great time to get that welcome offer of 185,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. Of course, those cards do come with some pretty hefty annual fees. The Bevy comes in at $250, and the Brilliant comes in at $650. Of course, there are benefits and credits to help offset those annual fees. Well, for the Brilliant, that is. The Bevy, not really. That's why it's kind of a bad card. But the Brilliant does help out with that. It does come with a free night after your first year, plus it has a food credit on the card as well. It's pretty easy to use, so there are some ways to offset the annual fee. Moving on to the last set of co-branded cards with Amex I will be mentioning, and that is the Delta Sky Miles credit cards. These also have elevated offers, which are a bit more common, I feel like, when it comes to the Delta cards, but still they're elevated. However, not for long. It does end on April 2nd, so coming up very soon here. If you are looking for a Delta card, now is the time to apply. Otherwise, you may have to wait a few months, but like I said, I feel like it's pretty common for Delta cards to have an elevated offer. Main ones to note would be the Delta Gold and the Delta Platinum. The Gold has a $150 annual fee. However, that first year is also waived, so you will be paying nothing up front. It does come with some credits, such as like a $150 hotel credit that pretty much offsets the fee if you had to pay it, such as the second year and beyond. So some benefits you can use there. Of course, does come with the elevated offer. And same with the Platinum, which I feel like has some pretty solid credits and benefits. And of course, the first year is a no-brainer thanks to that elevated offer as well. All right, so moving away from Amex, but sticking to some airline credit cards, another one I want to mention is the Alaska Airlines Bank of America Visa credit card. This card only has a $95 annual fee, so nothing too crazy there, but the elevated offer is 70,000 Alaska miles and a $99 companion fare certificate, all for that $95 annual fee, with only $3,000 in spend in the first 3 months, so really not too bad there. And that welcome offer is pretty good, I must say. I mean, 70,000 Alaska miles goes a long way. I booked a business class flight using exactly 70,000 miles, so that was very nice. And then you also get the $99 companion fare, so it can't go wrong with that as well. Basically, if you are traveling with someone else, so 2 tickets on your itinerary, that second one will only be $99 plus some taxes and fees. Of course, it's an airline card, so there's some other benefits that come with it, such as like a free checked bag. You can get another companion fare with the card after you spend, I believe, $6,000 on the card. Priority boarding, the typical stuff you'd find on an airline card does come with this card, but that first year, you can't top it. With that elevated offer, just too good. And we're not done with airline cards. I still got one more to mention, that being the American Airlines City Advantage Platinum card, as right now it does have an elevated offer of 75,000 American Airlines miles after you spend $3,500 in the first 4 months, I believe it is. So it's definitely doable to hit, and 75,000 American Airlines miles is no joke. Similar to that Alaska one, I booked a business class flight from Europe back to the US for just 60,000 American Airlines miles, and then booked a flight from the West Coast over to New York for 10,000 American Airline miles. And so, I mean, there's 70,000 right there. It booked me a $300 flight to New York, as well as a business class flight from Europe back to the US. I mean, the possibilities are endless with American Airlines miles. The card does have a $99 annual fee. However, like some of the other ones, the first 12 months are waived, so that first year is completely free. You will not have to pay anything. And similar to the other airline cards, pretty similar benefits. You have a free checked bag, priority boarding, some elevated multipliers with American Airlines, some discounts with American Airlines while on the flight. Your pretty standard stuff. But regardless, that first year with that elevated offer is just too good to pass up. So as you can see, there are a ton of options out there when it comes to welcome offers. It's seriously a sign-up bonus frenzy out there. But I'm not done. As I mentioned earlier, the American Express cards do have some no lifetime link language that is available for some elevated welcome offers that I do want to have as an honorable mention. So the first one being the Personal American Express Platinum card. There are some links, I will have one down in the description, where you can get 175,000 points after $8,000 in spend in 6 months. And this is a no lifetime link, which basically means you can apply for the card if you've already had it and still get that welcome offer, which typically you can't with American Express. You'll know this because in the terms and conditions, you will not see the language that says if you have or have had an Amex Platinum card, you may not be eligible. You will not see that with this link. However, The caveat here is that you must be targeted for it, which is very frustrating. What I mean by that is you must already have an Amex account. You have to click on the link and then sign in. And if it does pop up the application page, then you should be good to go. You can apply for the card. Just check the welcome offer as well as the terms and conditions to confirm. But for many of us, when we sign in, we do receive the dreaded page saying this offer is no longer available, basically saying that you are not targeted. So go ahead and check that link out in the description. It is not a referral link or anything. It's just a specific no lifetime link that you have to use. And then another one I do want to mention is the Amex Blue Business Plus, very similar to the Platinum. It's another no lifetime language link. So go ahead and check that one out. This one does have a very nice offer of 75,000 Amex MR points after you spend $6,000 on the card in 4 months, I believe it was, which for the Blue Business Plus is really good. Typically, it's like 15,000, 30,000 if you're lucky, or you have to spend like 15K on a card. So this offer is phenomenal. I actually did sign into my account to see if I was targeted, and unfortunately I was not. If I was, I probably would have applied for the card. I mean, 75,000 points, $6,000 in spend. Man, if I signed in and was targeted, I probably would have pulled the trigger, but unfortunately, I was not. If you are curious, check out those links in the description. I'll have them down below. And of course, I'll have all the other links down below for the other cards I have mentioned, some of them being my referral links, as I do have a few of these cards. And I would greatly appreciate it if you did use those links, as it seriously helps me out. I don't get paid for YouTube, at least as of now. So really, referral links is all I have. And these welcome offers are so good. Even if the card itself is not great, the welcome offer outweighs it. And of course, if you don't like the card in the future, after 12 months, you can just cancel the card. For example, I'm doing that with the American Express Marriott Bonvoy Bevy card. I mentioned that card is not good. It definitely is not good. But I did apply for the card with the elevated welcome offer of 155,000 points. And in a year, I will cancel the card, but I will definitely make use of the 155,000 points, as that definitely outweighs the $250 annual fee, so not too worried about it there. But of course, make sure the links have that elevated welcome offer. Make sure the card fits what you want to do in the future in terms of travel or spending or whatever it may be. And make sure you have the spend required to hit that sign-up bonus. That is the most important part, is hitting the sign-up bonus while also not overspending. You only want to put money on the card that you were planning on spending anyways, as once you start overspending on the card, it kind of defeats the purpose. So let me know down in the comments, will you be applying for any of these elevated offers? I personally am looking to get that Chase Sapphire Preferred offer, but I have to wait until my 48 month of hitting the last sub, and that was in May of 2021. So I have to wait until May of 2025, which I don't know if the offer will still be available. It's typically around 1 to 2 months. I might be pushing it. I don't know. We'll see. Otherwise, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one.